Hey everyone out there in the land of YouTube. I know it looks like I was staring, but YouTube gave me a notification about something new that they're featuring. How are you? That was probably weird. I was just staring. Today is Wednesday. It's hump day. It is August 30th. We are approaching the peak full moon time, which is at 9:36 p.m. 9:36 p.m. tonight Eastern time. And it is right now in the sign of Pisces, but we're going into the sign of Aquarius. Just so you know. It's a blue moon. It's the second full moon of the month. It's a super moon. It's a very close to the earth moon. So I recommend not getting yourself all up into a tizzy about anything. Hello. To the best of your ability. I know it's not easy these days. Today's a really weird weather day. It's very humid. Not very hot, but very humid here in New England. And it rained a lot, and I think the sky just cleared up. Tell me how you doing, and how your week's been so far. I kind of don't know where to start, so I'm just going to go with what the guides say. My heart is with the people of Florida. I may have even shed a few tears for the sadness that I was picking up on. It felt like it. And hey Kalani and everybody. So I think I'm going to start with this. Florida's really been hit really hard. I'm fabulous too, Damon. You have COVID week 2. Yeah, COVID's not done. The worst of it's done. So I'm going to ask about Ron, the governor of Florida, and whether he is... Oh, by the way, a tree fell down. A 100-year-old tree fell down at the governor's mansion in Florida. You put a Christmas tree? You put a Christmas tree in your post? Good! Be here before you know it. Damon had a dream we were eating manicotti. Okay, so what I'm going to do is ask, is this it for Ron DeFascist? Even the trees hate Ron. Where's my bell? Yeah, I'll drink to that. I told you this was it for Ron. I said August is it for Ron DeFascist. So what I'm going to ask is, I'm going to ask this first. Does this hurricane put the final nail in the coffin of Ron DeFascist's quest for the presidency? Is this the final nail in the coffin? Yes, it is. So even if you hear that he's going to continue on with his campaign for president, Ron DeFascist is not. This is it. That's what... It was an oak tree. There was a huge oak tree in Ron DeFascist's yard. And what struck me more than the oak tree, which I was very sad to see, this big, over 100 years old, it looked like oak tree. They said it was 100 years old. I felt like it was a little bit older. He's trying to use the storm to help, though. Well, how well did that go with the Hurricane Ian and the go-go boots? And pushing people out of the way who were trying to bring aid to the people that were kind of isolated out on the islands there. They were trying to help, and Ron just pushed them all out of the way so he could put on his white go-go boots and get his photo shoot. Yeah, I just said that, Kalani. Are you writing that because you're telling everyone what I'm talking about? Yeah, so when people do not get helped, and people did not get helped after Hurricane Ian too. So, and the power went out on his conference. I did see that. That was early this morning. It went out briefly. So is he going to be effective in helping the people of Florida come out of this hurricane? No. Boy, those answers are clear as can be. Yeah, Cedar Key was destroyed. Anybody in the chat right now that's from Florida? I'm seeing like 5 questions so far about Mitch McConnell, and I just want you to know, I will recap what I've already said. So I don't really have to read on it. I will recap what I said about Mitch McConnell in the past, after he took that big fall. I think it was on the Capitol steps. That was really it for him. I feel like he suffered a concussion and his health was already poor. And then when he froze before at a press conference, I said that's it. He's going to go home, and I think that was the end of July. He's going to go home, and he's not going to come back in September. Now, just keep in mind, if you can, that I read the energy of a situation, and what I saw was that Mitch McConnell is finished, and I didn't feel him going back to work in September, and it's still August. So I don't care about Scalise's health. I don't mean to be nasty, but I just don't even, I'm not even a read on Scalise's health. He's a heinous human being, and he's had some misfortune in his life. Being shot was one. But he's not helping. Steve Scalise is not helping the American people at all. And I wish him the best of health. I'm just not going to read on it. So, you know, he doesn't deserve for me to read on him. And that's the way it is. I don't care about Steve Scalise's health. I'm not going to be like, oh, I hope he's okay. Yeah, I hope he's fine. Like, I hope everyone's fine. But there are certain people I don't hope that deeply. Thank you for being with me on that and understanding. So I don't feel, I got very clearly, Ron DeFascist is, he's done. This hurricane is a final nail in the coffin for his dreams of the presidency. And also, he's not going to help the people of Florida. Because you know what? It's beautiful. It's beautiful in Western Illinois. Good, nice. Because you know what? Now what's happening, and I read on this yesterday from the dock where I was showing you the beautiful, you know, sailboats. Not only is he not going to run for president, he's not going to help very much at all, and only the ways that he's obligated to. Ron is not going to help with the hurricane relief efforts much at all, because I pulled the Three of Swords yesterday when I was reading on him, and the Three of Swords said heartbreak. So I actually feel like Ron DeFascist is going to go into a depression, like a major depression, because that's how bad he wanted the presidency, and that's how bad he needs adoration, you know, like just like Trump. And I was wondering recently if Casey might divorce him. So actually, what I'm going to do, yeah, he's not going to help the people. He'll be depressed because his presidential campaign has been suspended, for one. And you know what happens when somebody who's running for president says, we've suspended our campaign? That means they're done. So right down to almost the last day of August, I said I felt strongly it was going to be August that he'd be done. So if he continues to dance around as if he's still running for president, that's all fake. And that's what I meant by I read energy. Mitch McConnell's not coming back to work. He cannot. Mitch McConnell is sicker than they're letting on. Sicker than they're letting on. And he blocks, and Ron DeFascist does block others from helping. That's what I was saying when he wanted to do that photo op. He was pushing people out of the way that were trying to bring water to people that needed it. YouTube had Ron DeSatan speaking on the hurricane. It had very, very low views. Oh wow, interesting. He took away alimony in Florida. He was so busy. I'm going to talk about Vivek also. Yeah, James, don't worry about Vivek, but we'll read on him too because we haven't yet. Per local news, Uvalde mayor involved in a cover-up of the Robb Elementary shooting. Do you remember that I was talking about when that happened in Uvalde, that I was very, very disturbed by the decided effort to do nothing. The reflective, like what do we do, the effort to not do. I was appalled. Cheryl Clark, do you really think I'm not going to read on Giuliani? Really? Really? I'm just teasing. So it's over for Ron. I do want to read on Vivek Ramaswamy. First of all, the Republican Party is extremely racist, and I don't think he's being realistic and thinking that he has any chance at the presidency. Cheryl's laughing. You really think I'm not going to read on Giuliani? I already have anyway. So Vivek is not going anywhere. And I know that people are all worried because I don't think he captured the stage on the debate. I didn't get that at all. Remember, I get that Vivek is funded by the fossil fuel industry, for one. I will check the pendulum on that. He called climate change a hoax. DeFascist went from... DeFascist is going straight to depression. Vivek is... The guy's just a terrorist. I don't know really what that means. It's unforgivable that anybody with a major climate disaster happening on a weekly basis, if not more than a weekly basis. Thank you, Electrostorm, for that acknowledgement that the guides are right. The guides, thank you. For anybody, it's unforgivable for anybody, anywhere, to say, well, especially running for president, that global climate change is a hoax. And not only that, it's extremely offensive to the people who are suffering from losing everything and climate, I've invented a new word, and climate disasters. Might as well just combine the two, right? It's unforgivable. It's so insulting. I mean, that was like, people saying there's no COVID when people were dropping dead and losing loved ones to COVID. It's like, it's so offensive. Do we understand anymore what it is to be, proper? I don't know. Sometimes I wonder. Will the fascists accept, A-C-C-E-P-T. That's the teacher in me, I'm a Sag. Federal assistance offered? Well, he'll accept it, but the question is, will he distribute it where it's needed? You worry more about Youngkin? I don't see Youngkin even interested. I don't see Glenn Youngkin even interested in running for president. He's got a cushy life. Anyway, Vivek. I'm going to pull 2 cards about the... I'm not going to pull more than 2 cards. He doesn't deserve it. Vivek doesn't deserve it. I have an attitude today about these people. They don't even deserve to be read on. They don't even deserve my valuable psychic energy. So Vivek only gets 2 cards. Oh, he's not going to win anything. Vivek Ramaswamy, is that his last name? Am I saying it right? I didn't study his spelling. This is Vivek's outcome. He has an emotional loss. He doesn't go anywhere with his candidacy. And we're celebrating that he's out. He's so offensive. Vivek is so offensive. I mean, it's almost like it's almost like he hates America. I don't know his story. I don't know his backstory. Does Vivek actually hate America? He hates America. Ramaswamy? Don't confuse me. Don't confuse me. I think it's Rajaswamy. All right. Doesn't the governor of Florida have to request federal government help? Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. When there was that train derailment in, was it Ohio? I think I have that right. Was it Ohio where the train derailed and there was a horrible spill of toxic chemicals and Governor DeWine? Biden called before DeWine even called for the emergency aid. So somebody is saying Biden already offered aid. Yeah, and that's just what I'm just assuming that he already did. And oftentimes it happens before the disaster even strikes. You've seen Ramaswamy? So I got emotional loss for him, for Rajaswamy, whatever his name is, I think that's correct. And celebrating that one down, a few more to go. It's very disheartening to see people hating on the United States of America that are citizens of the United States of America. It's very, very disturbing. I want to read about Tennessee. I did post on my community page. Mercury's retrograde, I keep screwing up my words. On my community page, I posted a Midas Touch vid with Jessica Denson and Gloria Johnson. Jessica was interviewing Gloria Johnson, a representative in Tennessee. The Tennessee legislature has gone off the rails fascist. She was describing a scenario where they actually locked them in to the room, the meeting room at the State House. They locked them in. I think it was the State House. But anyway, they went to confer together, Gloria and the two Justins, and they wouldn't let them out of the room. They were kind of body slamming the two Justins, saying to the African American Justin Pearson and Justin Jones, who are really eloquent, amazingly gifted leaders and speakers, like beyond their years, very gifted speakers. And the Tennessee legislature they're trying to silence them. And all the people of Tennessee, and see, this is close to my heart because I lived in Nashville too. The good people of Tennessee just want gun reform. They want safety. They want safety laws. Apparently in Tennessee, you can make a phone call. You can make a phone call and Cheryl, it's not true that it was a year ago. You can make a phone call in Tennessee, and this is probably true in other states too, and you can say, hey, can I buy a gun from you? You can meet the person in the parking lot and they can just sell you a gun just like that. Open, permitless, and they allow guns in the State House in Tennessee. Guns are allowed, but what's banned from the State House is signs bigger than 8.5 by 11 holding up a sign. And here the right-wing fascists are complaining about their First Amendment rights, and down there in Tennessee, they're not even letting them hold up a sign. I don't know how people can sit idly by, and I hope that nobody here is. It is kidnapping. Actually, Gloria Johnson was describing it as a hostage situation, like they were pretty much being held hostage. So we have to rally our love for American democracy. The reason that I started Grassroots of Democracy, I'm going into a little bit of a speech mode. I'm just forewarning you. It won't be too long. But this is so important. They're taking away our democracy right in front of us. There's no gun laws in Tennessee. They're taking away democracy right in front of us. Now, there are people that are winning on the good side, so I'm not going to say it's all 100%. George is like that too. Okay, so I just want, at the risk of sounding preachy, I just want everyone to reflect on whether this is okay with you personally. And the reason that I started Grassroots of Democracy is because I wasn't hearing enough calls to action. We hear a lot of news, but we don't hear enough calls to action, in my humble opinion. And I felt like we needed a place to go, to come together, to talk about actions that we need to take. So what we do at Grassroots of Democracy, well, shoulder check, body slam, whatever. You shouldn't be hitting each other on the floor. That should be decorum. So I started Grassroots of Democracy because when something comes up, we meet 3 times a week. We get to talk about it. And then we get to talk about which organizations that we can align to, like Democracy Docket, Mark Elias, who's fighting voter suppression. And we jump on board with them, and we do what we need to do to participate and to be involved. And I encourage you all, I'm taking this opportunity in this moment to beg you to join grassrootsofdemocracy.com and to get involved. Because when they start taking away our rights like they've been just pounding away persistently, they don't stop, they're persistent, they keep pounding away and pounding away and pounding away. And they say there's no such thing as global climate change, and we have a Second Amendment right to have permitless, anyone can have an AR-15. Really? Really? I know we're busy with our lives, but we would regret not being involved if we lost our democracy. We're not going to lose our democracy, but we're not going to lose our democracy because we are all going to pitch in and do our part. Okay, I'm done preaching. And I love you all, but it gets scary. It gets scary. It does. I was doing a reading last night from the doc. And by the way, just as a little segue, I did mention there's a schooner festival this weekend, and it's going to be beautiful weather. So I'll be doing more outdoor bids. Just want to let you know that. So the need to save our democracy is really staring us right in the face. So when I was doing the reading on the doc, and I read on, are we going to do anything? Is the Biden administration going to do anything about global climate change that's significant enough to make an impact, to at least get the ball rolling? And I pulled cards, and if you watch that video from yesterday, they're trying to. The Biden administration is really pushing for, they're really trying to get global climate change initiatives and green technology in place. And what I read last night was they keep being blocked. And it's ditto for guns. Ditto for guns. The fascist Republicans are blocking anything to do with improving our lives so we can survive. Literally. I'm pulling 3 cards on that. And if you want to have more glimmers of hope than I'm giving you at the moment, admittedly, watch Spirit Talk podcast if you haven't already from yesterday, because Kathy Beal gives us the lowdown on the horrible astrology for these horrible people. Just wait till October. Hey Betty, happy hump day. This is about what's going to happen. Okay. I've used these cards so many times that it's kind of, they're a little worn. But I'm just asking about this country and, you know, what's going to happen. The Biden administration is working really hard to get people what they need. And I actually got the triumphant success. Thank you for putting up something positive. So you drove through Tennessee this year and there were less Trump signs. I mean, having a Trump sign up right now is like, if you have a Trump sign up right now, I mean, I don't mean you, but if somebody has a Trump sign or a Trump flag flying, they might as well just be saying, I hate America. I hate America. I want somebody to take down America. I hate democracy. Right? Might as well just say that. So reading on the Biden administration, I do see triumphant success. We're in a tough spot, but we're gonna, you know, we're pushing through. Yeah, and he's lowering the cost of prescription drugs. He's negotiating with the big pharma, who, I'm sorry, it doesn't cost thousands of dollars for a diabetic to have their insulin. So now, but it used to, but it doesn't cost the pharmaceutical companies that much money to make it. And I am a racist if you have a Trump flag, right? Anyway, as far as the Biden administration, I see triumphant success, and that's based on prosperity begins. This is about the Biden administration. Yes, and he was making the government drive electric Jeeps. And we got in on that too last year, Grassroots of Democracy. We got together and we wrote repeatedly to the Board of Governors. I don't know why DeJoy is still there. We have to read on that again. But DeJoy was going to go ahead and buy thousands upon thousands of mail Jeeps that were gas guzzlers. So we put an end to that. This is the Biden administration. Prosperity begins. Yeah, Damon, I wouldn't even believe you. You're trying to fool the psychic. I have a Trump sign. If you love fascism, you have a Trump sign. And also, if you don't know what fascism actually is, you'll fly a Trump flag, right? So not you, but you know what I mean. Material. Okay, so this is about the Biden administration. The communication is going to get better, the messaging. When prosperity begins, which it's starting to, then this is what's going to keep the Biden administration vibrant and winning. Now, Kathy, this is the Psychic Tarot. It's a John Holland deck that clearly I loved so much that I've used it probably hundreds of readings. Hundreds of readings, festivals, you know, just seeing people in person, parties, yeah. These cards have a lot of energy. These are more oracle cards. It's nice to change it up. I always make an effort to change it up. So we're going to pull 3 cards about the fate of Trump. By the way, yeah, these are awesome cards. John Holland, the Psychic Tarot, if you want to get them. America's the only country that pharma ups the price on medication more. I mean, the greed, when you really look at it, the problem that we have in this country, and in the world for that matter, is based on one thing: insatiable greed. Thank you, Maria. Oh, since you just posted a little donation, your membership showed up. I want to encourage you all to become a member at every level. There's 3 levels. You receive an affirmation in your email inbox every single morning, Monday through Friday. Changes your life, I tell you. It's really good. Okay, so I'm going to pull a few cards about Trump. I did see video of Trump this morning, thanks to compliments of Midas Touch. Everyone subscribe to Midas Touch. They're really doing some amazing work. Amazing. They showed, Ben Mycelis was showing videos of Trump. So what he's doing now is Trump is just repeatedly putting out video after video after video, calling Biden all kinds of names. And it's like, I think the only time that Joe Biden and Trump ever spoke to each other in one room, when Trump had COVID and was trying to give it to Biden, was the debate. And he's saying about Biden he was calling him all kinds of names and deranged Jack Smith, and it's just like, it's going to get worse. Trump is going to get worse and worse. But my point is that when I saw him on these videos, I was looking at a madman getting madder and madder by the minute. See my Edgar Allan Poe candle. I don't have it lit right now because I have the fan on. Nevermore. Just thinking of Trump. Hey Amanda, just like Trump is just lost, he's just lost his mind completely. Completely. We have to protect ourselves from him. So I'm gonna pull 3 cards. This is about the Orange Menace. Says who said that? Andre at Astrology Alert. Okay. The Orange Menace. Mental conflict, do you think? Said the Raven, nevermore. Yeah, actually, when I went over to the castle the other day, which they want me to call Hammond Castle Museum, not just Hammond Castle, I don't know why, I picked up a candle. And it's made by hand-poured in Canada. I don't see the company. Oh, A Pleasant Thought. Getting ready for Halloween season. So as far as Trump goes, mental conflict, I was just saying that. Discontent and boredom. He's just sitting around, freaking out. Material and spiritual prosperity. Trump is he's at Bedminster, right? He's at Bedminster. He's looking at what he could lose. He's calling for another insurrection. Yeah, of course he is. But he's a crazy man. He's a crazy man, and he's very he doesn't know what to do with himself. I mean, what is he doing? He doesn't really read. All he's doing is he's OCD. He's obsessing. Cheese done flew off his cracker. That's a new one on me. All right. When I saw Giuliani the other day outside the courtroom and reporters were asking him questions, I've never seen Giuliani so... It was just like, excuse me, but it was like verbal diarrhea. Giuliani just didn't know. Words were coming out of Giuliani's mouth when he was outside of the courthouse the other day. Words were coming out of his mouth, but I didn't even feel like he was understanding what he was even saying. Rudy Giuliani represents to me the largest, the most historic fall from, not that he was a great person, but the most historic fall from like a high standing and how people viewed him, the furthest fall. And I had said before that Giuliani's going to prison and this is it. He was probably drunk. I don't know if he could be drunk in the courtroom. And I guess I'm just assuming that he had just come out of the courtroom, but I'm not. I don't know if that's factual. I think he was in the courtroom, right? And let's see. You don't know how Trump has all that energy to spew hate nonstop. He's doing speed. Who an idea of bringing down America has failed. Well, yeah. Let's be real. I mean, I was just watching Ari Melber a little bit, and he was doing a piece on Roger Stone, and I mean, like Roger Stone oozes criminal from his pores. Roger Stone even looks like a cartoon character villain, doesn't he? And Giuliani, the same. He looks like a villain. He looks like a villain from a cartoon. A bad alcoholic can physically be drunk several days after they stop. Okay, that makes sense. Then Kim said that makes sense. I said it at the exact same time. Roger Stone is the Joker. Yeah, true. Both of them look like just the caricatures of a total villain and Batman villain. Yeah, Roger Stone looks like a villain out of Batman. I'm going to read on Giuliani. It's gross and disgusting, and you know what? He deserves every bit of punishment that he gets. He was given many chances to make himself look better. Rudy. Rudy looks like the Penguin from Batman. He really does. He really does. You mean Rudy or Roger Stone? They both kind of look like the Penguin. I read on Abbott yesterday. But let's stick with Giuliani for the time being. What is his fate? What is Giuliani's fate? So, despite my rant, I am optimistic. I am. You know, the 2020 election, we were all afraid that not enough Americans were paying attention, and they were. The midterms, we were afraid that not enough Americans were paying attention, and then we found out that they actually were. So I'm not worried, but I just need to know that you all are going to be involved. For Rudy, well, this is like the Tower card, and it looks like this guy's in prison, right? This is Rudy. He's all disheveled. He's all discombobulated. He's. I don't even know how Rudy Giuliani is standing up straight. I really Rico Rudy. He's prosperity begins. He's looking for more money. And actually, this is weird because it almost says this. When Rudy is in prison, there's a little bit of, Maria's involved, thank you. There's a little bit of a chance that Rudy in prison will rehabilitate himself. He won't be, 3 sheets to the wind. But he's going to prison. I mean, this doesn't look like freedom to me, right? Oh, Yogi Bear is speaking Spanish to you, Maria. I love it. Yeah, actually, it will be the best thing for Rudy Giuliani's soul for him to be in prison. Rudy Colludi, drunken Giuliani. That's what Michael Cohen calls him. So, and prosperity begins for Ruby and Shay, too. But Rudy doesn't have any money. Very psychic tonight because I'll say something, I look up and you're saying the same thing. So is Rudy going to be able to pay any of his bills? He'll be able to pay some of his bills. I'm talking about rehabilitation in prison. It's not like they're going to be handing out Jack Daniels in the prison, right? I don't do personal readings on my channel. These are political readings. We read on the news. So, is Rudy going to have enough money to pay all his fines? He won't have enough money to pay all his fines. Putin has given his approval of Vivek, and he's got close ties to Modi. Yeah, Vivek is a plant. Vivek is definitely a plant. Because just switching topics to Vivek. Because the pendulum said he is an enemy to the United States. Vivek is an enemy to the United States. I'm so grateful that Ruby and Shay Freeman are going to get what's owed them. I really am so glad for that. Is somebody else going to prison the same time Rudy is? Yes. Yes. Is Roger Stone going to prison the same time that Rudy is? I'm getting kind of a yes on that. Yep. 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 I might switch cards for a sec just to get into the actual tarot. Are you talking about Vivek? Was he born here, or you can't run for president unless you were born in the United States? I'm gonna pull the Rider-Waite. I'm gonna pull 3 cards on Roger Stone. I mean, if you wonder if Roger Stone is a criminal, just look at his back. You speak and write and read Spanish. Yeah, I figured. Yogi Bear. I think it's great. I'm still learning French on Duolingo, and I keep thinking that I'm doing terrible at it, and it keeps telling me that I'm doing great, so I don't know who to believe. Let's see. Okay, let's read on Roger Stone. It looks like they're going together. The Witch's Tarot. If you request the Witch's Tarot, I'll switch to that in a bit. Let me read on Roger Stone first. What's the fate of Roger Stone? The guides are telling me that Roger Stone knows that he's expecting to go to prison. But let me ask this: is Roger Stone planning to flee the country? Yes. I'm getting yes. I'm getting that Roger Stone is planning to flee the country because he's afraid of jail. He's been there. Let's remember. Did I see what Vivek said he would have done on January 6th? What did he say? That he would have done? No, fill me in. I must have heard that. Vivek said that his tattoo of 45 will be on his buttocks. You get a bell! You get a bell! When I see Stone, I get the chills too, Ann. I'm definitely with you. He's so evil. Vivek said that September 11th was fake and that the government was in on it. Anyway, we're reading on Roger Stone right now. Roger Stone is fearing prison. Roger Stone has been in prison before, and guess who pardoned him? Sometimes I wonder if you all remember this too. Very good, Damon. Bonjour. Bonsoir. Damon? Roger Stone is afraid he'll end up in jail. Somebody's going to give up the dirt on Roger Stone. There's a lot of evidence against Roger Stone, but yes, he's going to... I feel like Roger Stone right now is making plans to flee. I don't know. He's stone cold evil. Yeah, exactly true. Is Roger Stone making plans? Is he making a plan to flee? Yes. I haven't watched the film on Roger Stone from the Netherlands. Can you Janet, can you put up there what the name of it is? I think it has Roger Stone in the title. Roger Stone is singing like a canary. Oh, and that just kind of jogs my memory and reminds me that going back to the situation in Tennessee, and I'm thinking of it because Roger Stone was colluding with the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers prior to January 6th and on January 6th. Gloria Johnson in Tennessee said when they showed up at the State House in Tennessee for some, I don't know what the meeting was, but Proud Boys were there at the State House. White supremacists, domestic terrorist groups. Lois, you okay? People are saying they're sorry your stomach hurts. I think it's... Go have a beer, it might feel better. This is a bottle drop. So yeah, I mean the domestic terrorist groups, they're out there and they were colluding with Roger Stone, and you know, more than just Roger Stone. And I'm seeing other people that the Proud Boys were colluding with. And Gloria Johnson said that the Proud Boys showed up at the State House in Tennessee to show solidarity with the fascists in Tennessee that are in the Tennessee government. Let's take a look at, I'm gonna pull 3 cards about whether, because I do get that Roger Stone is plotting out his escape plan. Let's see how it goes. Damon, what's weepa? I can feel that full moon energy coming on. They got Secret Service. They got those Secret Service texts. Yeah, was Roger Stone part of that text thread? Bottles and seagulls and something, oh my, and tea. I have to remember I have tea. Pray for Tennessee. In addition to praying for Tennessee, please be involved. So I'm reading on Roger Stone, and because I get that he's making his plan to flee, which will be disrupted. Which will be disrupted by the Department of Justice because he was heavily involved in January 6th. Yes. Roger Stone's plans to flee the country and go to an enemy country where he could plot to destroy America from there. Those plans are falling apart. He's going back to prison. Do we remember when Trump pardoned him? And pardoned Michael Flynn? Sometimes I think we just go into like, I don't want to think about it, right? Is Roger Stone? Yeah, Roger Stone's going back to prison. Ari had a great segment tonight. Yeah, that's why it's fresh on my mind. Yeah. Yes, I see the Moscow Mitch froze again. I totally. I've said it many times. I've been saying for about a year that Mitch McConnell's health is so bad. Like one time I was saying, because I saw a picture of Mitch McConnell, speaking of Mitch McConnell, and his lips were blue. He's been sick a very long time. He will not be able to, Mitch McConnell will not be able to continue. I don't know what happened. I didn't even need to know what happened to Mitch McConnell. I read a headline that he froze, and another. I think he just kind of goes into a little bit of a mini stroke kind of a thing. Anyway, I don't think it's an actual stroke that Mitch McConnell's having, but it's something about the brain neurons misfiring. You know, like Mitch, where you feel sorry for him. Well, Mitch should just step down. Yeah, it feels like mini strokes, but I don't really get that it's a stroke. But it's similar. He looks like the end is near. He's looked like that for a while. Oh, let's read. Somebody mentioned, all right. Ann saying, I don't think we should have to pay for Flynn's pension. Absolutely. And we shouldn't be paying for, how about Trump's motorcade to his arrest? We're paying for that too in Secret Service. And we're all sitting still and not saying anything? Feel that full moon energy, Annette. Alright, so. Let's read on Paul Flynn. I mean, not Paul Flynn. Sorry, Mike Flynn. I had a friend years ago and his name was Paul Flynn, and I keep on flipping the names. Flynn is a common name. What is the fate? Oh, a doctor looked at the video of Mitch McConnell and said it was a mini seizure. That makes sense. That's more what I'm picking up. What is the fate of Michael, terrorist, stochastic terrorist, spewing Flynn? Mike Flynn. Oh, the guides are showing me he's, you know, 2 peas in a pod with Roger Stone. 2 peas in a pod. Mike Flynn. There's a lot of evidence about to be presented, and Mike Flynn is going to get the message that he's going to have to appear for trial. His days of freedom are numbered. He's connected to our enemies across the ocean. This is Mike Flynn. And the evidence, the receipts are copious. Copious. Yes. It will happen again. And I think he knows it, but unfortunately he's rallying people that will act on his behalf. But you know what? Bow your head and say a prayer of gratitude that we have law enforcement and we have a justice system. You can't believe someone in the military hasn't taken care of Flynn. Yeah. Actually, yeah, Russia, if you're listening, right? Let's read a little bit more on that with Mike Flynn. Well, Manafort's got direct connections to Russia. Thank you, Janet, for putting up my information. Much appreciated. I'm reading on his connections to the enemy. Oh, he's the worst traitor. You know, the levels of traitorship or traitordom or whatever you call it is just beyond pale. Flynn feels evil. Well, I mean, think about how evil Vladimir Putin is. Think about that level of evil. And they're kind of his puppets. The connections, I froze when I said what? What part? Evil? It freezes when I say evil. I do think that's part of why Tuberville is stopping for the time being. It's still stopped the promotions in the military. I do think Jack will take care of them all. So I'm asking about enemy connections for Mike Flynn. Flynn led the lock her up chant. Can you say projection? Yeah. Okay, it's definitely, yeah. Mike Flynn heavily invested in hurting America to the utmost of his ability. Mike Flynn wants to hurt America to the highest degree of his ability to hurt America. Do I think Mike Flynn is one of the unindicted co-conspirators? We'll take a look at that. He will be sorry. The evidence is copious that Mike Flynn was working with the Kremlin. Yep. I know. I don't know why they don't just move to Russia. Is Mike Flynn one of the unindicted co-conspirators? I pick up this information that the unindicted co-conspirators face more legal peril. I don't know how that works, but that's what I'm getting. Is he one of the unindicted co-conspirators? Yes. You thought Biden could remove Flynn, Rita? I don't know, but we can ask. Does Biden have the ability, does he have the authority to remove Flynn? No, I think it's a military thing. Yeah, Janet, I like that. Move to Russia is what you say to Trump fans. I look a bit blurry. I often look a bit blurry. I can't really fix that. Remember, Mercury's retrograde, so this is a time that we're all a little blurry. I don't know. That's my take on it. We're all a little blurry. I get that Biden doesn't do that. That's not, I mean, Biden actually follows the rules. What's the military waiting for when it comes to Flynn? Well, I'm blurry to some people, but that's okay. You don't have to look at me. You can just listen to the reading. I don't look blurry to me. It looks very clear from here. Oh, hit the thumbs up if you can. Much appreciated. I'm going to do my little commercial break in a moment. Just for me. Not for any other company but my company. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, why hasn't the military reactivated Mike Flynn and court-martialed him? Yes, the whole Republican Party is part of a fascist criminal traitorous enterprise. Absolutely true. I couldn't have said it better myself. Why hasn't the military dealt with Mike Flynn? Is it like there's some inside enemies? I don't get that. Is it that there's a certain protocol that has to... It's like something to do with a certain protocol. Help me to get to 10,000 subscribers. Yeah, I'm incredulous about that, but thank you. If I have technical problems, I'm going to have to cut it short. Oh, the clock is ringing 8 p.m. Eastern Time and all is well. My little commercial break goes like this. If you would like to book a reading, you can do that by going to psychicannetteDion.com. And let me just tell you, my psychic impression is you really want to get a reading. Because one reason is we're in a full moon in Pisces right now, supermoon. The psychic energy is really off the charts. So, okay, I'm not going to go. It's just that if people are having troubles with my Wi-Fi connection, I'll just, I'll have to go. I'll watch the chat. I have a new class coming up. It's called Seriously Psychic. Please go to psychicannetteDion.com if you want to be psychic. I will teach you. You have to practice, and I'll teach you that. That starts September 23rd, and it's on Saturdays, for 6 Saturdays. Go to psychicannetteDion.com to sign up. Also, 20 on Tuesdays is a guided meditation for a healed America every single Tuesday. After the meeting, you receive the meditation. Even if you're just on the list and you can't make it to the meeting on Tuesdays, Church of Spirituality every single Sunday at 1 p.m. live stream Eastern Time. Church of Spirituality makes your life better. It makes things work. It makes your life make sense. So check out Church of Spirituality and let's see. Become a member. You get great perks. One of the perks is you get to come to a psychic party at the end of the month. And Maria signed up for the course. Great. October 11th, I don't have the PR material yet, but it's coming really soon. We were working on it today. October 11th, it is a 2-hour tarot in a castle course that you can purchase a ticket, I'll let you know when, to participate in the live stream of that. And then you actually, thank you Lois, you actually will get a recording of the class afterwards. So that's October 11th. Just save the date. It's going to be from 7 to 9:30ish Eastern Time. And you can buy a ticket to live stream it. I'll let you know when the tickets are available. And become a member. You get great perks. And I think that's it for now. After I go off the air here, I always go, I should have told him that. Yes, I do have readings available this week. There's usually plenty of space in my schedule. But that's not going to be forever. Always seems to address what you're internally battling with. Oh, thank you, Damon, for saying so. That means a lot. And I do read your comments. Oh, thank you, Kathy. I just did my nails. I do read your comments. Where is the settings? Which settings for? Tell me what you mean. As far as the comments, I really appreciate when you comment. I just really have, I don't know, maybe I have some Libra in my chart that I don't want to leave people out. So it's hard for me to decide whether to give you a heart and give everyone a heart. And, it's just, I don't want to play favorites. So I respond to people in the chat when I feel like, in the comments later. You know, people leave comments later when they watch afterwards. And I just don't want to play favorites, and that's why you don't really see much of me responding. But I do read your comments, and I really, really appreciate it. And I hear that it's good for the algorithms if you do leave a comment, so thank you. And I want to just say, join Midas Touch and support YouTube channels. Subscribe and join if they have memberships. They all do. Support the YouTube channels that are pro-democracy. I consider this a pro-democracy channel. Gold star stickers for everyone. Yeah, that comment, you know, thing, that gets a little tricky. Okay, and I love you all. Let's dive back in. Let's read on Marjorie Trader Green. And I just want to remind you, watch the Spirit Talk podcast. Share it with Kathy Beale from yesterday. There's some really awesome astrology news that will lift you up about this time that we're in. I love you guys so much. I always look forward to being with you. We're going to read on Marjorie Trader Green. We did read on her. Well, Kathy does the readings. She's the astrologer. I'm not an astrologer. It doesn't look good for her, but we're going to pull some cards for Marjorie. And we're going to pull some cards for Lauren Boebert. Then we're going to look at this storm. And there's another storm coming. It's not Marjorie Trader Green. She's heading for some heartbreak. And I really do feel like... Oh, thank you. I enjoy my outdoor vids too. They're fun. Marjorie Trader Green, I feel like her boyfriend's gonna dump her. Yeah, her reading, Kathy Beale's reading on Marge was interesting. She's gonna be looking at her seat as a past tense kind of a thing. We will be so happy that she's gone, because there's so many things that she's done that are criminal. Do I think Marjorie Trader Green is one of the unindicted? Well, she's on somebody's list. Is she? No, she's not one of the unindicted. I feel like she's on a different list. I do. Things are heating up in here. So, Lauren Boebert. I can't repeat that. I can't repeat that on YouTube. Swear words. Jack Smith list for sure. Yes. Yeah. 100%. Marjorie Trader Green is on the Jack Smith list. Let's see what Lauren Boebert's fate is. Remember, Lauren Boebert's mom was in the Capitol with a bullhorn directing people where to go. Of course they want to, the fascists want to impeach Janet Protasiewicz in Wisconsin. Of course they do. Anybody that's pro-democracy, anyone that's pro-America, anyone that wants to live in a free country, anyone who's smart and popular, the fascists want to, they want to impeach them, they want to get rid of them. Anyone who's normal, they want to get rid of. Anyone who cares about people, they don't want anything to do with you being in the public. Right? The fascist Republicans, if you're a decent human, they want you gone. I wish I was kidding. Thank you, Moonchild. Okay. Lauren Boebert. Have you seen Lauren Boebert lately? Yeah, she's a heinous human being. And I don't know what's going on with her diet, but Lauren Boebert looks like she's disappearing. She's very, very, very skinny. Is that stress? I think she's just wound so tight, Lauren Boebert. Is she losing weight? Yeah, she's losing weight. I think it's all the stress. You saw her on 4th and Main? I'm glad the Wi-Fi cleared up. Sometimes if I just wait, ever since I got a Wi-Fi extender, it's been way better. Oh, that's a good question, Cheryl. Does Lauren Boebert have an eating disorder? Oh, I'm getting a yes on that. That was an interesting insight. Huh. Yeah. Stress related. I don't know if she's still with the boyfriend, the country singer. Interesting. Boebert is following God to leave her husband, and yeah. And who's the guy she's with? In a godly way. Have we noticed? I mean, Lauren Boebert is a disorder. What was she talking about the other day? And she was making absolutely zero sense. I mean, it's beyond belief. It really is. Lauren Boebert's fate. It's Lauren Boebert's fate. She's not sleeping. And so that's why she's losing her train of thought, and Lauren Boebert she's not doing well at all. I feel like there's somebody who's working on ousting her, and they're working behind the scenes. There's going to be money distributed to. It feels like organizations that are working really hard to remove her from her seat are going to they're going to get funds. So I would say those would be organizations that are pro-democracy. And there was an organization, I think it was called Muckrakers, that almost got her to lose her seat. So it's just Adam Frisch is running against her again. Okay, so that's what I'm picking up on. I remember he almost beat her last time. She's freaking out. She's definitely this is Boebert freaking out. I mean, this card has no semblance of peace whatsoever. You try so hard to send them love? Why? Moonchild. I mean, I kind of understand what you're saying, but don't strain yourself. You know? You're not obligated to send them love. You know, from a spiritual perspective, you're obligated to kind of go neutral and not put more negative vibrations out there, but don't feel like pressure that you have to send these horrible people love. It's not your obligation. Remember when Cruz went to the border and was down in the grass talking about immigrants? Yeah, they have made such absolute fools of themselves. Oh, Adam is up 50%. When is that election? Is it next year? You can throw questions up there if you want, if there's something really pressing that you want to know about. I'm going to now... Yeah, Adam will definitely beat Lauren Boebert. Yeah. It's just, she only squeaked in there. Yeah, next year. Yeah, he will, definitely. I mean, the American people have had it up to here. The Team Normal people have had it. We're so fed up. So you can put up a question if you have a pressing question. Right now I'm going to read on the storm. What storm, you may ask? If I get a chance, can I read on something called Project Liberty, seeing this commercial is up and down? Yeah, of course. They're using they're bastardizing our democracy. So they take words that used to mean good democratic things, and they, like the Freedom Caucus, I mean, that they take they bastardized our American flag. I hate that when I see an American flag, I mean, honestly, Betty's still woke. We're all woke. We're all waking up too. When it hurts my heart when I see an American flag. I assume it's a Trumpster. They stole that from us. They stole that from us. So, I'm going to do the veils are thinning, that's true. I'm going to do a little reading on the storm. I'm just going to pull 3 cards about the storm. Adelia. At least they picked a name that wasn't that common. If your name is Adelia, I'm sorry. Boba down by Bo. Okay, so this storm has been devastating. Yeah, you feel the same way about the flag, George. We need to. I went on a big rant about it on the 4th of July when I was doing my video here. I want our flag back. Next one will be a J. Next hurricane. It's on its way. This is a really tough one. They're all tough. This is a really tough one. The storm surge is going to be unbelievable because it's high tide. It's full moon, supermoon, high tide. Supermoons mean the moon is closer, so the tides are going to be exceptionally high. So, I still love the flag too. It's just too bad they pissed all over it. And continue to. But they're lessening. I'm glad you fly the flag. It's great. I'm glad that you do, and more of us need to. Oh, you know someone riding out that storm? I'm picking up some real tragedies. I do feel like people are gonna, there's so many people know people that live in Florida. I don't think I do right now. But people will come together in a spirit of community. I actually see nobody paying any attention to Ron DeSantis. The Confederate flag triggers you, as it should. How wouldn't it? Okay. So some people know people in Florida that are alright. I know the storm surge was 7 to 15 feet, and I'm telling you, parts of Florida are going to be underwater for good. True to the global climate change maps that were constructed years ago. MAGA needs to woke up. Article 3, 14th Amendment is catching fire. Yes, I think it is really catching fire. We'll read on that again, too. The American dollar triggers Damon. No, the dollar's a good thing. Money's good. Money's a good thing. I've been telling people not to move to Florida, and yeah, I totally. And a lot of people didn't listen to me, and I wish they had. But I'm out of touch with them now. This storm is just, it's awful. Yeah, there are parts of Florida, especially like the islands, that will be uninhabitable. Supermoon is tonight. What time does it show in the sky? You know what? When I leave here tonight, I'll probably be able to see it pretty well because it did clear up. I do think changes will happen, but there'll be parts of Florida that we will lose forever. Oregon, Washington, there's some rough stuff coming that way too. The insurance companies have moved out. This is going to be, I just really see Ron DeSantis being irrelevant. In the face of this storm, especially, I see Ron DeSantis being irrelevant. It's almost like, get out of our way so we can save the people. They're fed up with him. How about earthquakes in California? Well, I don't want to scare you. My whole life people have been saying there's going to be a massive earthquake in California, right? Damon, Lois says you can increase your wealth by 25% if you move to Canada. There you go. Did you know that? Okay. Moonchild is in Florida, fine and central, but the mainstream news and weather has grossly minimized. Yeah, I felt that. I felt that, yes, I feel that the news isn't covering what's really happening. Texas is coming next in terms of Texas is next in terms of a hurricane. Is going to get hit next. Somebody's saying DeSantis asked for Disney to drop the lawsuit and they said no. I think that was a couple weeks ago. The Texas GOP is up to shenanigans to interfere with Paxton's, oh no, I lost you, impeachment trial. Next week, will they be able to succeed in helping him? No, I don't think so. I feel like there are too many people that are really, really angry at Paxton, Ken Paxton in Texas because he's been ripping people off for too long. I know it's kind of significant that 100-year-old tree fell on the government. I mean, when you think about it, just going back to Florida, that big tree, 100 years of history in that tree, it got wiped out in the storm right in front of the governor's mansion. And I got to see where Ron DeFascis lives. And actually, it's the exact picture I had in my mind of where he lives. Swamplands, as a Weather Channel said, are they just being offensive to Florida? Write to them. I think we're winding down, so I'm gonna go watch Midas Touch in a sec. I think they're on tonight. Let's see. Karma in Florida with a big oak tree to Ron DeFascis. Yes, definitely. You saw DeSantis on CNN today? Was he zooming in? It's a sign. The tree falling is a sign. Oak trees have a lot of symbolism in Celtic lore. Yeah, oak trees have a consciousness, especially they're so big. I'm reading the tea leaves. I just said I'm reading the tea leaves, and I look at the chat and I see no tea leaves over here. Do I ever get tea leaves in my teeth? Yeah, likely. The tree was fed up with DeSantis. Yes. You get a bell. Yeah, Midas Touch is legal AF tonight, and then tomorrow night it's the brothers. What's happening in California? I don't know what you're referring to. Oh, the world tree is an oak. Yeah. Okay, so what we have, there's a hummingbird. There's a hummingbird at the bottom of the cup. Do you guys see the hummingbird? It's a hummingbird. And we have a lobster. We have, I do see an angel. There's a bright new day coming. And light in the blind, so they see the light. Hummingbirds are symbols of joy. And the bottom of the cup is what's coming. See the hummingbird? Isn't that beautiful? And we have, that looks like some kind of a tool. Hang on, I'm just okay. There are a few angels here, and there's a sun. So that's good news. It actually looks like good news for women, because I see Venus here. I'm feeling protection coming for the women that are in law enforcement. My tea leaves from Maine. I was thinking of going up to Maine. I'm looking at a place I might go stay for a week. You know, I'd be live streaming from there. Okay. Yes, I see good news. I see good news for the women in law enforcement, the judges, the DAs, the AGs. I see a lot of protection for them. I really do see them full-on protected. I actually see the like good men. You'll visit me, Cheryl? That's funny. I don't know if I'm going yet, but we'll see. I see good men helping the women that are in positions of leadership and power. Seems like there was one other thing I wanted to read on. But we can save it for Friday. Did somebody ask me a question and I didn't read on it? If not, we'll call it a night. Or a day, depending on when you watch this. And please hit the thumbs up on the way out. Please check out everything that I'm doing by going to psychicannetteDion.com. By the way, there's a place where you can donate for all the efforts that are put forth from me and my guides. And always appreciate you. I wouldn't be me without you. Anything you should know about the blue moon, check out Spirit Talk Podcast. Thank you, John. Much appreciate. So much. And everyone who donates, and I love you guys. You're awesome. If you want to know more about the blue moon, we talked about that at the start of Spirit Talk Podcast, so you can jump right over there, and it's under the lives. Check it out. Kathy's an amazing astrologer. Blessings to all. Stay safe. Keep your optimism up. If you want meditations for a healed America, on my website, psychicannetteDion.com, you can buy 10 of them for $20. All right, enjoying Grassroots of Democracy. Go to grassrootsofdemocracy.com. Join us. We have a meeting tomorrow night, and we meet on Saturdays too. Namaste. Love you lots. Thanks for your generosity of your time too. Bye.